Hot July day. First hour ever in Chicago. Exited Sheridan off Lakeshore Drive, turned right onto Greenleaf. Dead-ended into a parking lot at Loyola Park on Lake Michigan. Parked in front of a no longer existent phone booth and started making calls to find an apartment.
Marquette Park at 67th and Kedzie, where my dad tossed a frisbee at me and knocked out my loose tooth when I was 10.
The Thai Star Cafe, where I had dinner with Chris and Tom, and for the first time felt utter delight at being an autonomous adult on my own in the world.
Fargo Beach, just south of Howard. First home, first sun, bonfires till dawn, listening to Gordon Lightfoot.
The view of the alley out of the window in the men's bathroom at the Neo-Futurarium. It looks like Beirut.
My husband and I shared our first kiss 23 years ago on Argyle, just east of Broadway, in front of the Asian butcher shop. Ducks hanging upside down in the window, heads all intact, watching us.
Lincoln Park, just south and west of the Berwyn Underpass. A slanted tree where at 8 in the morning the police still hadn't cut his body down. I promised myself, but never did find out who he was.
The stairwell in the book stacks at the Regenstein Library, but not now. I love them the way they were in 1998, where when you really weren't supposed to, but everybody smoked there, and you could sit there with your friends absorbing carcinogens and nerdy vibes from the books.
The Quick Mart on Lincoln, just north of George Street. I was shot through the leg and taken to Illinois Masonic Hospital, where I met the doctor who would become my first wife. The bullet actually lodged in a storefront where we later got some stamps made by eccentric identical twin brothers.
The parking lot of the abandoned post office on Foster, just west of Ravenswood.
The parking lot of DeVry at 3300 North Campbell.
My girlfriend called me from this location because she found a bright green parrot perched on a single rusty chain. This was explained later when I learned that these parrots, they live in Hyde Park on the south side. It's true, you can Google it. Still, it was magical.
It was here in the driving rain that a douchebag music promoter made me windproof a chain-link fence, squeegee a parking lot, and push broom floodwaters out of a grass lawn for the Q101 block party. My post-liberal arts college hell that I had been warned of was upon me, and 6 soaked to the bone hours of grunt work later, the Q101 party was canceled.
The Treehouse Cat Shelter on Carmen and Broadway, where I immediately fell in love with his fuzzy face.
The Lincoln Park Zoo, in the shade of an awning just outside the ice cream shop. I pressed my cell phone to one ear and my hand to the other to block out the happy chatter of passersby, while a doctor on the other end of the line told me that the blood test results were back on my 9-week-old son, and they were not good.
The steps of the Art Institute, November 4th, 2008. I give my ticket to the Obama rally to a friend and head north against the crowd to catch the election returns on TV with my wife.
The table by the door at the Grand Cafe in Lincoln Square, where the hamburger lady told me what to do if a robber reaches his cartoon hand inside of your window while you're going to the bathroom. You reach around underneath yourself, and you grab a hamburger, and you put it in the hand.
From Rob Neal,
From Ann Halliday.
who moved to New York City. Standing in front of the Cubby Bear, where Beth asked me when I was going to write a poem about her just before we broke up, and I wrote a poem about her.
7644 North Sheridan Road, the summer of 1985. I was an underage cocktail waitress at Biddy Mulligan's, a divey blues bar owned by 2 Pakistani guys who loathed my raggedy theater major look. I went out to B.B. King's motor coach to serve him a 7-Up, and he said, "Thank you, baby. That tastes so nice."
La Boca della Verità,
Mellon Park,
In Lincoln Square,
on Ashland, just south of Bryn Mawr.
where Andy Baades, my husband and fellow Neo-Futurist, took me to dinner the night that he proposed.
Where my girlfriend told me she didn't think it was going to work out. I was like 5 blocks north of where I married her.
A block south of Foster, looking upwards and eastwards over Lincoln Avenue towards the perpetually for rent apartment buildings that have the torn screen windows, where the ambiguous man often shaves his beard in a handheld mirror. I'm on the 3rd parking pylon closest to the sidewalk with my soda pop and my box of nuts, and I watch as the world passes by for about 15 minutes, and then I get back on my bike and I ride away.
I ride my bike on the lakefront path
with no hands. Moving my body through space using only the power of my legs delights me every time. And there is about a 30% grade right at Irving that I challenge myself to attack without slowing or putting my hands down. So far, so good.